Hi, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome again. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is we are going to be doing a problem walkthrough through these 5 questions, and we are going to be solving it in DAX in Power BI. So what do we do? What is the percentage of sales made in each region? So in order to solve this problem, we go to Power BI desktop, and basically what they are asking us to do is to write an expression that is going to tell us the percentage. In Northeast, I'm going to see the percentage. The Southeast, I'm going to see the percentage. In South-South, I'm going to see the percentage. In the normal Excel that we know, what we know is we just divide Northeast by the grand total, and we do referencing to it, and we solve the problem very easily. But how do we solve this kind of problem in DAX? In order to do that, I'm going to first of all create a measure that is going to tell me the grand total, because currently I don't have access to the grand total. So in order to do that, I create a new measure. So once I create a new measure, it opens the formula bar and it gives me an opportunity to do what? To write an expression. So that is what I want to do now. I want to write a measure that is going to tell me the grand total. So first I want to do the grand total. Once we are done with grand total, we can now divide sales by the grand total in each region. Okay. So we have our formula bar in a second now. Okay. So over here, we are going to say sales total region is equals to calculate. So we are going to be using calculate, and our expression is going to be sales and what is the filter that we are going to be using currently, because we want to find the grand total. So we want to remove an existing filter context, which is based on each region, and we want to sum for all the sales. So we are going to be using all, which is a table. It is a table function that returns all, everything in a table. So what do we want to return? We want to return everything in our D region, in our region. So we say D geography region. So we want to sum everything. So, and close. We close the bracket. Once we are done with closing the bracket, we press enter. And our new measure is going to show in where? In the field list. Once we have our new measure in the field list, we can now check the box to see how it looks like. So when I check the box, you can now see we have this value, the total. Now I can now divide sales against sales total region. So in this case, I create a new measure again. So once I create a new measure, I can now divide sales against sales total region. So it opens the formula bar for us. It gives me the opportunity to write a new measure. Okay, so now we can call it percent region is equals to divide sales, comma, and we are going to put sales total region, close the bracket. We press enter, then it evaluates the expression, and we check our box to see the results. So we have percent region now. And I can change the format because currently it is going to be showing me as a decimal. So I can change the format to what? To percentage format. And I just have it over here and I click on percent symbol. So with this, I have been solve the question of percent region. Basically, I don't need this column in my table. So I only create total region in order to be able to do what? To calculate percent region. In another video, I'm going to be showing us how we can do it such that we don't need to create this one as a new measure. We can create it as a variable, and we can use it in our percent region measure. Okay, so we move to the next question. The next question is about what? Is about sales made in each year. The question for us is, can we use this same sales total region in this guy? Let us check it. Let us try and put sales total region in our year over here and see what it gives us. So basically, we can see what is happening. It's not giving us what we want. Why is it not giving us? The reason is that the filter context on region is on region here. We only remove filter context on region and not on year. So if you want to do this on the percentage for the years, what do we need to do? We need to remove the filter context again on year and use and modify it to a new filter context that is going to be based on all years. So what do? I need to create a new measure called sales total year now, not sales total region. So I create a new measure. I create a new measure. It opens the formula bar for me. I write almost a similar expression for sales total year now. It's going to show me the grand total for the sales. So we can now see now that we calculate. We cannot use a function that we use over here and use it at the same place over here again. No, we need to create a new one. Okay. So we have our formula bar now, and we are going to create a new measure. Okay, let us do that again. New measure. So we have our formula bar now, and we are going to do what? We are going to write the expression for sales total year. And we have sales total year. So in this particular one, I'm going to be using a variable to solve the problem. So I'm just going to say, call it percent year is equals to, then I create my sales, my variable. Variable is equals to calculate. Okay, variable, give it a name, sales total year is equals to calculate. And we have here sales. We remove the existing filter context, and we modify it to a new one. So this one is going to be the calendar based on what? Based on year. I close my bracket, and I can now say my result is going to be what? Divide against sales, comma. Then we have our variable, sales total year. And we return results. So there's a problem over here. Okay, I can see that variable. Sales total here, and I close my brackets and I have my results. So this is using the variable approach. So now we can now come over here and see our result. Percent here, I want it to show in this table. So I check my box. And I have percent here. Then I can apply my what? My format, which is going to be based on percent. And with that, we have solved what? The second question, what is the percentage of sales made in each year? So the next question is asking us to find what? The amount of sales that were discounted. So we want to know the total amount of sales that were discounted. So we can also do it on this table. So what do we need to do? We want to find the amount of sales that were discounted. Remember, the current filter context is based on year. So what do we need to do? We need to create a new measure. We create a new measure. And for this new measure, what do we want to do? We want to find the total amount of sales that were discounted in this particular table for a year. So what do we need to do? We create a new measure. It shows the formula bar. We write our expression. So we are going to have the formula bar just very soon. So we have the formula bar now. We can call it sales discounted is equals to calculate. Then we have our sales, which is the expression. Then we need to write a filter, a new filter that is going to use to solve it. So basically, I go to my F order table. So the filter at this current time is going to be on sales discounted, F order. So we are going to have sales amount. We want to have discount, F order discount greater than 0. So this is what we want to do. So calculate sales, F order for discount that is greater than 0. So this is going to just return a table and that is based that has discount for greater than 0. Then we close our brackets and we enter. And once it evaluates the expression, the new measure, we are going to see it as a new list and we can check our box to see the results. Now we can see now that it is actually less than sales. So this is the total amount of sales made for discounted what? For discounted products. Now we have been able to solve the first two questions. I mean, 3 questions: percent of sales made in each year, and amount of sales that were discounted. We move to the fourth question: find the number of transactions made that were discounted. So we want to know the number of transactions. So we go again to our Power BI desktop. We create a new measure. First of all, we are going to use a slightly different approach over here because What we have in this case is number of transactions, not sales. So in order to do that, we are going to write a new measure for that is going to count the number of transactions. We are not concerned with the amount of money made for discounted products now. We want to know the number of transactions. So what I can do is we are going to write a new measure. Then we call it transaction discounted is equals to, so we can use count rows for this problem. We say count rows, and our count rows, it accepts, when we check it, we can see that it accepts a table. So we need to have a way to have a table inside this place. So what table do we use? We can use a filter. We remember a filter is a table function that returns what? That returns a table. So in this case, we are going to be putting our F order table inside, and we need to write a filter expression. So the filter expression is going to be what? The filter expression is going to be, we want an expression that is going to say, okay, greater than something. So we have F order discount greater than 0. We close the bracket. We close the second bracket. We press enter. And we come over here and we check the box. We can just check transaction count. We want to compare it together, and transaction discounted. So we can see now that the transaction discounted against transaction counts. So the discounted product is more than half of the transaction counts. And that is all about transaction discounted. So we move to the next problem. So the next problem, let us check it. What is the next question? The next question is, what is the number of customers who bought more than the average amount of sales? This is the next question we are going to do. Let us go back to our Power BI, Power BI desktop. We need to find the total number of transactions made that were more than the average sales. So what do we need to do? We can decide to use a variable approach, or we first of all write a measure for our average sales. In this instance, I'm going to first of all write a measure for our average sales first. And after finding average sales, we now write a measure that is going to compute the total number of transactions made greater than the average sales. Okay, so we create a new measure, and once we create a new measure, we come over here to write our measure for average sales. So we have average sales is equals to average and sales amount. And we close the bracket, press enter. We wait for it to compute. Then we check. That is our average sales. So we need to create a new measure now that is going to allow us to compute, to count. So in this instance, I'm going to create a new measure. So this new measure I want to create now is going to basically allow me to count the total number of sales made that were greater than the average sales. So I'm going to call it good sales is equals to, we use count rows. So we say count rows So we need to use a filter inside it. So we want to count the rows inside the F order table. And apart from counting rows inside the F order table, we need to write a filter expression. So in this expression now, remember our filter context is based on year in this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a calculate because I want to modify the existing filter context and say that the expression is still going to be average sales. That is what I want to modify and change it to what? I want to use, I basically want to use a new filter that is going to tell me that, so no. So what we want to do is we want to find average sales greater than. So we are going to have average sales over here. Average sales greater than. Yes. So average sales greater than, calculate. Greater than, calculate. Then this is the tricky part. We can use all because we want to know the total number of the average sales greater than a particular sales, each transaction sales. So we can put F order here and we close our brackets and let us see the results. Let us see the results. A little bit tricky, a little bit tricky. So it computes, it counts the good sales. We can call it good sales count anyway. So we check the box. And I have my good sales, which is 384,418,487,574. But the challenge with this is that it is not totally accurate because of the use of all over here. And that will make me go to my PowerPoint slide again and tell us what is the difference between all and all selected. We have all. It looks like the complete set of data from beginning to end and calculates all values in a column, disregarding any filter you make in your reports. That is about all. So in the work we have done here, it may look a bit correct, but the thing is that it is not taking into the account of partial filtering that may have occurred within what? Within the F order table. So what we are going to do is to come to this all and remove the F order and we just say all selected. So this is all selected is more strict in this case, that we are considering values that are greater than what? Than the sales made in that region. And I close my brackets. Close my brackets. And we have it. So this is the more correct way to solve this problem. So, and that is all about all this video about calculate. In my next video, or in some of my next video, I'm going to be discussing more about all and all selected with specific examples. If you have liked this video, thank you. If you have watched this video, thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share.